What?
Why?
Why?
Hello there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
We're not gonna say it together. That's so cringe. Either you say it or I say it.
Do you say it then?
All right. Why?
Why? Hello there. That's it. That's the intro. That's
No,
yeah, come on, man. It's funny.
What do I say?
Greetings, fellow podcast watchers.
Well, hello there. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Picking Brains. I'm your host, JJ Swar, and with me is the mic toucher, Ahmed Sami, who behaved last episode, which was coincidentally the one before this. Well, not coincidentally, yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
But I'm sure a lot of people those who actually watch or listen to this podcast have some questions such as, why has it been so long since the last episode? Mm-hmm. I think it's been 6 months.
I have the same question. Why has it been so long?
I mean, you should know, but
no, I don't.
Well, I'll explain.
Okay, good.
But first of all, how are you doing? How are you doing? You good?
I'm doing great.
He's comfortable. He has a new addition. He has a pillow because he wasn't comfortable last time.
We upgraded right now.
So now you're good.
Yes.
Right.
I don't know. Last time it just felt like I was sunken into the chair. Like I finally am like upright.
All right, do me a favor. Just bring the microphone a little bit closer to you. No, like just push it towards you.
Like that?
Yeah, like that.
Like that.
Yeah. All right. I think it's
that.
good. Okay, so why has it been, I don't know, 6 months? I don't know how long it has been.
Has it been 6 months?
It's like March, I think. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, back to his normal shenanigans. But it has been 6 months for a few reasons. I'll go one by one. The biggest one is my work requires me to travel on a weekly basis.
Yeah. Actually, that's...
So that's why I said you should know
I forgot
why.
About that. Just exited my brain.
So yeah, I don't try to tell people what I do. I try to keep my personal life separated from my work life. You know, I don't want that to start bleeding in, and I start talking about work and the things I do at work, or I want to, have a space that does not allow my work life to come in.
Trying to be mysterious.
Not really, but just because I don't know. I don't want to talk about work. I talk about it enough at work. And even after work, I don't want to talk about it while I'm doing my hobby.
True.
But the reason, so that's the biggest obstacle. And when it comes to shooting episodes, is I'm gone every week and I come back on weekends. Usually the projects I'm in are in the Gulf. So that's why I come back during the weekends. And when I do come back, I'd be very tired. Like, I have to, podcasting requires a lot of energy. It requires coordination with the guests. It requires editing. It requires post work. And I haven't been able, I haven't had the energy to do that. Most of my energy has been focused on the projects. Beforehand, I still worked at the same company. I'm there for almost 2 years now, pretty much 2 years. And because last year, most of the projects, even though they were happening outside Bahrain, I was working remotely because of quarantine, and it was more serious back then with COVID and everything. But now most projects require us to be on site. So ever since the last episode, literally the very next week, I had to fly, and that's why there haven't been any episodes. Frankly, just because of the energy and the devotion I have to put into my work, I can't really balance it out with the podcast. But we haven't been totally inactive. I mean, I've been posting up until last month, August. I've been posting highlight reels of the podcast from previous, like clips of previous podcast episodes. Some of them you're in, and that's my way of trying to keep active. I've actually hired someone to do those for me because, like I said, I don't have the time to. But that's the biggest obstacle. That's why there hasn't been there haven't been any episodes. But the reason why I'm recording one today is I'm still in the project, by the way. I'm still like not done flying.
You're in the projects?
I'm in the projects. I'm in Chicago or something. I'm in the Bronx.
Nice.
But
hopefully
no.
You get out. Yeah.
Yeah. But the reason why I'm doing this because we're approaching two reasons. One is because I've had a few people, weirdly enough, messaging me saying, "Hey, where's the podcast?" I didn't think people care that much about the podcast, but hey, thank you. Shout out to you guys who have reached out to me on my DMs. I try my best. Trust me. This podcast, I know a lot of people thought it was over. Some people like, is it done? Is it something I'm going to pick up and drop like any other hobby? No, I plan on doing this for the foreseeable future. It's just the schedule is not set. It's not going to be weekly. It's not going to be bi-weekly. It's going to be whenever I can do it and whenever I have guests on. Now, what else? Yeah, so people reached out to me. And so that's reason number one is because, like I got a little bit more motivation because people are asking me about the podcast. I have 20 listeners or maybe less. Depends on how far you go back into the podcast. Second reason is we're approaching 1 year on this podcast since it's launched 1 year anniversary. I think I announced it before October, but or maybe early October, but the first episode aired on October 25th. Last year, 2021.
Nice.
So this is pretty much going to be the last episode of season 1. This is the pilot season. I didn't, like I said previously on previous podcasts, I haven't made I didn't do any ad campaigns for this podcast. I didn't sponsor it, nothing. Moving forward, that's going to happen. Next season, I'm going to start pushing it out to a bigger audience. I'll try my best. This was mostly like a test run, like a beta run. Or an alpha run, whatever you want to call it. And I think it's pretty. Run. Shut up. I think it's been pretty good so far. Just the organic reach. If I look at the demographics or the geographic areas where there are listeners for this podcast, it's all over the world. Actually, there's people in Germany, people in America, people in Asia, like Eastern Asia. So I was kind of surprised. I haven't done any ad campaigns, and yet it's been reaching out to people on a global scale.
Yeah.
Even though there's not a lot of listeners. I think the highest episode I have has 200 downloads.
Nice.
Which is not bad. Which is the last episode, by the way, the one we talked about Will Smith and all that stuff.
That was the last episode?
Yeah.
You had no episodes in between?
No. Just like I said, the posts, the highlights.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the major reason. I'll try my best to have a better schedule, but no promises. It takes a lot of effort and work to do this. Many people think or thought that I did this because I had nothing else to do. I didn't have a job. It's, Mama and Baba are paying for this equipment. No, this has all been funded with my actual real life job. I'm doing what I urge people to do, which is taking some money from your salary and using it for your hobbies. This guy does it too much though for his fragrances. It's an addiction. We'll talk about that.
Hobbies.
Yeah, we all have our hobbies.
Passionate hobby.
Yeah. Let me increase your audio actually.
I feel like it's all right.
It's good now. Anyway, so
my voice is a bit lower, so
maybe. I can adjust it later.
Yeah.
But yeah. We're back picking brains. I think this is episode 12. I'm not sure. And what do you want to talk about? There's so many things that happen, man.
There is. You mentioned October 25th.
Yeah.
Was the airing of the first episode.
Yes.
I still remember you kind of had this template for like a Halloween kind of theme for your intro.
I'm using it for this episode.
The same template?
Yeah, even though this is September, there's a bat coming out at the end.
Yeah.
But the reason why I can't shoot this episode next month, especially on the anniversary, is because I'm planning on traveling for vacation.
Nice.
I want to go to Japan.
All right, yeah.
There's a lot of, I have a story about planning this trip. Well, I'm going to talk about it. It was a major pain in the butt, but I will yeah, I'll talk about it later. But that's my plan for next month. I'm planning on going from October 19th until November 4th. That's the plan. So 2 weeks in Japan. They announced individual tourism is opening on October 11th. So, man, I just want to go and take some time off from work, from everything. Just, shut off everything.
Yeah, you should. I think like a vacation is definitely necessary.
Yeah.
Japan is gorgeous too. Like I've never been. I've just seen those like nice like hipstery vlog videos. That's all I've seen of Japan, and it looks gorgeous, especially when it's raining. Like it's amazing. So yeah, take some videos. Take some vlogs, man.
I bought a camera. Well, not just for Japan, but I bought it because of Japan, and I intend on using it after. And I might even use it for the podcast. So I'm gonna have 2 angles instead of just one wide angle, because a lot of people complain about, not a lot, but a few people pointed out the lighting. It could do some work. I understand that, and I can even now fix the lighting. I can get some lights, but I don't want to turn my bedroom into a studio. You know what I mean?
This is shot in his bedroom, guys.
It is in my bedroom.
Messy bed is right behind.
My bed is right behind.
Some 7-Up there with like a crumbly plate.
All right, calm down. You're gonna call me out in my own bedroom.
2 things I see.
You're not gonna call someone out for eating food in their bedroom. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't want to turn my bedroom into a studio. Have some lights. Have 2 cameras. Even though I have another camera. Not the one I bought, but I had an older one which I could have used for 2 angles. It's just gonna make the editing so much more of a hassle. Just having to cut between the different angles every time somebody else speaks. I have to go to that person. It's just too much work. But I might do that in the future. But yeah,
what about the lighting though? I mean, that's not gonna have.
I think
a lot
the
of issues.
podcast mostly is about audio. That's the whole point. This video thing is, I do it because I want to save those memories, not just the audio, but the video as well. I also feel like it's more cozy like this. You know what I mean? I don't want harsh lights on my face. And on yours, it's kind of too studio, too professionally.
Could you have like cozy light? Is that like
you could? I think there are some lights that you can change the temperature so it can be more warm, and you can probably use like a soft bounce, basically bounce the light off of something and then hit your face so it's less harsh and doesn't. I could do that, but then again, where am I gonna put all that stuff? You know what I mean? I don't have room, so no pun intended. Anyway,
jeez.
So a lot of things happened. I don't know where to start. It's kind of like one of those things where so much has happened that it's hard to talk about one single thing. That I'm kind of I feel like paralyzed. I don't want this episode to be empty, but I also don't want it to be too overbearing. But the major thing I wanted to talk about, and the major person I want to talk about is,
let's hear it,
Andrew Tate.
God damn. Really getting into it.
Oh no. Oh boy, that was an S show. I don't want to cuss. I'm trying to be a good boy. But Andrew
truly
Tate,
a rational thinker, a wise man of our world,
a modern philosopher.
Strong philosophies. It's beautiful, it's poetic almost.
Yeah. I don't use TikTok much.
I'm just messing, by the way.
That should be obvious. If they didn't catch it, I'm sorry. It's your fault.
Yeah,
please.
True.
Anyway, but when he first popped up, it was on my TikTok, and I don't use TikTok much, but I remember people sending me TikToks, like, hey, this guy's talking some real stuff. He's he's speaking truth. And then the more time went on, the more people dug out stuff about him and the things he also says currently. Very sexist, etc.
It is
misogynist. Well, he is a misogynist, I think, from what I've seen. But the view he has about women and certain people groups, I don't know. So most people play the card that it's taken out of context. But I've also went to see some clips way before and after what was said, and it doesn't make it any better. The problem with people like Andrew Tate, and they're showing up more I don't know their names, but there's another guy who's on TikTok. The problem with these guys that want to act like they're, you know, I don't know what you say, like elevated as people, like they have seen it all. They're the ones who uncovered the truth about how people are and how we are pawns, and they've reached nirvana. I don't know what to say, but you know what I mean. Like the problem with them is what they do is they say some things that are very agreeable. Like they're not unpopular opinions. Like everybody agrees with, but then so you have that over here, which is like the normal things. Yeah, I agree with you when it comes to these things that most people agree with. But then the other side, when he talks about things that people don't agree with, it's like very bad.
Yeah, it is.
It's very bad.
I wanted to make that point too. I think that's how he got to a lot of people. He said a lot of things that are agreeable, that make sense, maybe slightly challenging. And that's how he like sucked a lot of his viewers in. And then a lot of people sadly idolize, certain people who have this charisma or whatever you want to call it. I don't think he has that much of a charismatic persona, but some people see it as charismatic. So that's how it kind of like sucks you in, and then people just blindly agree.
Yeah, and it's such a weird phenomenon because I've heard that he does this tactic where he pays people to spread clips of him.
Damn,
that's how he got big. Yeah, so it's like I forgot what he calls it, like some Andrew Tate Academy or the Tate University. I don't want.
Yeah.
But basically, I have like 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds want to make a few bucks. He's like, promote me and you'll get your share. So that's why you have all these different accounts with the highlights of him talking with the subtitles on top, and most of them like spell everything incorrectly when it comes to the subtitles. But yeah, that's how he's and then he got banned.
That was weird. That was actually a little weird. Like I don't agree with a lot of the things he says.
Yeah.
But to be banned off of a platform, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I might disagree with you here.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
You should have been banned.
Look, I'm all about free speech. And if you asked me this a year ago, I would have been, like he shouldn't have been banned. But as time went on and I see the effect that it has on young, impressionable kids and the way they treat women, etc., when they listen to these messages, like I'm down with banning one or two people that might cause way more harm than good. Even at the sacrifice of, or in the cost of, freedom of speech. Because when you think about it, there's no laws being broken, like especially when it comes to the U.S. and the amendments and freedom of speech and all that. I think is it the Second Amendment? I don't know what the freedom of speech is, but which amendment it is. But anyway, you still have the companies, private companies have the right to ban whoever they want.
Yeah,
that is their prerogative,
of course.
So I think it was practiced well here, and most of the times, by the way, there's still people like him that still are platformed, and they're still there.
That's what I wanted to get into.
And you know what? I have a theory. Actually, I heard this from someone, but I don't know who it was. But I agree with them because I had this thought too. It all depends on which executive saw your clip, because Andrew Tate could have popped up as some TikTokers or Facebook executives feed, or his son or his daughter, whatever, and they like looking at what the heck is this guy talking about, and boom, banned.
Yeah,
and others didn't get that yet. Their clips didn't show up at some board members. See,
the way I also see it is, you either, if you're gonna ban someone like him, you have to ban all the others that are like him. The others, there are also a lot of women influencers that go against men. They're very extremists. Mm-hmm. Same with men. There are men influencers like Andrew Tate, who's an extremist. He goes against a lot of like what women think and how they think, and he kind of like, in a way, he objectifies them.
Oh, he definitely outright objectifies them. Let me tell you that. I'm going to be binary about Tate, by the way, because I don't want to be like, maybe it's a little bit sexist. No, some of the things, I don't know if you've seen the clips I've seen.
I've seen a few. I haven't seen that many.
There are a few that are like,
There was one particular one where it was outright stupid. It wasn't even about him talking about women. I know I've seen some of the clips he's talked about women. It was crappy. It was outright crappy. But there was one where he was talking about weakness. And this goes against his common concept of trying to help men and all that. He's like, he was talking about weakness and how he doesn't want any weakness around him. Fair enough. You don't want like maybe certain people that bring you down.
Yeah.
But he's really against it. He went and he said a story about my friend was weak and he didn't really back me up. And like he was facing off another group of people, and then he just like punched him because he said something against Tate, you know, and he was like, I don't want weak people around me. I don't want anything to do with them, you know. And it's you're kind of going against your own concept and helping, you know, young men who are weak, or whatever you want to call it. Not only that, obviously, with just everything that's already been said, you know, about him. How he's sexist, how he kind of goes against a lot of the things he already says. Yeah, you know, he's hypocritical too.
Yeah, he's like I said, he's in that group where of these guys, these influencers who think they are alpha males, sigma males, whatever you want to call them, and
which, as a matter of fact, is a true like kind of weakness.
Yeah,
it's a true kind of fear.
It's like they want to make up for something they lack as men. I don't know what it is. That's why they're like, I don't want weakness.
Yeah. Which I just want to say like real quick, like it's all right to feel fear or to feel weak. Completely fine.
It's being human.
You know? It's being human, exactly.
Yeah, and he's talking about the Matrix and escaping the Matrix. Look, I'll say one thing. There are a lot of things that I know that people fall for. Every company out there wants to manipulate you, or does manipulate you to get what they want. At the end of the day, when it comes to colors of logos, when it comes to the way that the mall is made, architecture and all that stuff, it's all designed in a way designed in a way to influence you, but also designed based on the human psyche, how it reacts to certain things. That's why they keep maybe the sugary stuff before the fresh produce in some grocery stores. There's a whole it's a deep world. Yeah. So everybody out there has an agenda. The people who pretend that they're with the companies that pretend that they're with certain groups of people who are marginalized and all that stuff, they're doing it for good PR. That's a fact. Yeah, everybody knows this.
True.
So I'm not gonna sit and say, there aren't people who are calling that out, right? But there's a substrata of people who think that they're woke, and they are so convinced, and their whole identity is centered around being woke, and you're not actually woke. I hate this word woke. It's been twisted in so many ways. It's just, live life, man. Live life. You don't have to be some philosopher who uncovers the truth of everything, all the conspiracies, whatever. There are things that are worth investigating and calling out, and there are things that are not. To think that everybody who disagrees with you is just not woke and asleep is just absurd and delusional, in my opinion. Yep.
Yeah, I agree, and I definitely agree with like these huge companies, social media companies, Instagram, YouTube, just doing it out of just for their own selfish needs,
to score points.
It's not they didn't ban Andrew Tate because they felt genuinely like he's a harm to everyone. If everyone liked him and he was a harm to maybe, let's say, a group of a small minority group of people, which people like that exist on Instagram, on YouTube, they're not banned. They're well known too. It's not like they're just under the rug. You don't see them. They don't have any views or follow. They have a lot of followers. These people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, I don't care that Andrew Tate has been banned. I don't think it sets any precedent. I don't think it sets any precedent that they're going to ban everybody. They're going to go on a major onslaught and ban everybody. I think it's going to be a one-off thing, and it should be. I think that his influence was too strong. Like, I'll give you an example where I disagree with trying to ban people and trying to deplatform people is Joe Rogan. Right, I disagree with Joe Rogan on a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Right, I think I disagree more than I agree with him.
Damn.
But right. Like I don't think I think he's a genuine person.
Mm.
It's just it's fine for me to disagree with him. You know what I mean? It's
Of
not
course.
it's not
You have to disagree. You can't always 100% agree with any. Even the people that are pure and genuine and loving and smart and careful, you can't always 100% agree with.
Of course. So, but people try to deplatform Joe Rogan for things he said in the past that he has apologized and corrected himself for. That's different than Tate, because Tate is standing by and digging his hole deeper every time he speaks. Joe Rogan, you know, he might have differing opinions, and he might bring guests that you don't want him to bring, but I don't think that should be enough reason to deplatform him. I don't think he's giving any like obvious, non-negotiable negative influence to impressionable kids. That's the difference.
Even if it was, do you think he would get banned?
I think his knowing who Joe Rogan is and his history, I doubt he would say anything as bad as Andrew Tate. I don't think he will get to a point where he would get banned.
I mean, there are a few clips of him
it's
saying
like he said the N word.
That one too.
And he apologized for that. You know what I mean? And I think when he said it, he didn't say it. I think he said it because would you like people, when he's talking to a black person, do you like people calling you the N word? And he says it, right?
Yeah.
I think the intention behind his usage matters. I don't think you should ever use it, in my opinion.
Of course, yeah.
But the intent matters. And I think people saw that, and that's why he wasn't banned. I think it's clear.
I think the thing you mentioned, taking things out of context, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times people kind of just say that to say it. Oh no, you're just taking this out of context. You're just taking this out of context.
Yeah.
Look at and then they try to build this facade of a context that's clearly not there.
Yeah, it's
you
abused.
can clearly see the intention. I'm talking about Andrew Tate specifically.
Yes.
There are other people that, you know, that are influencers that I feel like are taken out of context, you know?
Yeah. What I'm noticing these days is that there's two groups of people. You okay?
Yeah.
There's two groups of people. You have the people who are all with Andrew Tate and people like him. I'm not even going to compare Joe Rogan, but let's say all people that agree with everything Joe Rogan says, everything Jordan Peterson says, everything, you know, these controversial. Obviously, Andrew Tate is like I don't want to put him in the same league as Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan. He's much worse. I don't think those two are bad. I think I just disagree with all three of them in a lot of things. But I feel like there are people who are all for these people, and there are people who are all against these people.
Exactly.
And the people who are against meme on people who are for, and people who are for make memes on people who are fully against. And I'm like basically sitting eating popcorn and watching,
but watching the war.
Well, yeah, but what irritates me a little bit, to be honest, is that the people who are disagreeing with people like Jordan Peterson, and all against him, and they think he's a Nazi or whatever, right? When they clown on the people who are for Jordan Peterson, they think they have the moral high ground, or they're morally superior, which irritates me. It's like Jordan Peterson has a lot of things I disagree with. I have his book. I read his book, and I disagree with half of the book. I think it's a good book. I think Jordan Peterson has a real skill in terms of being able to clearly articulate his position. He's really good at that, and he's very consistent in his beliefs. But when they paint him as such a bad man, they kind of ignore the things that he says that are really truthful, in my opinion, and that make sense, that are reasonable, that are logical arguments. But what they do is they ignore that side of him, and they focus fully on the negative or the things they disagree with, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll give you an example. Have you seen the new what is it called? The Little Mermaid trailer. And the mermaid Ariel, she's like I think she's black.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to get upset. over Ariel being black, in my opinion.
There isn't.
Okay,
there really
she
isn't.
She is a mermaid. It's a myth. It's not a real creature. Okay,
Yes.
she's not real, right? So I don't think there's an issue. But what happens is a lot of people who have a problem with it, they get memed on by people who don't have a problem with it, right? And this is different. To me, you can't do that. That is something that's fine. Well, but I want to take an example back to Jordan Peterson. When people meme on people who agree with Jordan Peterson, it's not the same. But usually, I find the people who are on that side that meme are are also against Jordan Peterson or people like him.
Yeah,
it's hard to explain because I haven't thought about this like clearly and structured my.
I get what you mean.
But yeah,
I get what you mean. And there are a lot of differing opinions going around. The thing is, like, these people who put out their opinions, they also change their minds like throughout their journey of their life.
Of course.
But it's there. It's out there in the internet. And these people, whatever figure he's going to live with this he or she is going to live with this forever. Yeah. And I agree with the whole, just because, maybe he said something that irritated someone or you disagree with, doesn't mean you dismiss everything he says or you dismiss everything good that he's put out. You know, I think he's definitely, I do agree with a lot of things he said. I like his lectures where he goes deep into like the Lion King. Those are very like nice things to hear. They don't have any political aspect to them, but they're just nice to hear. He goes into like the themes of it, the plot. Those is brilliant. He, as you said, he articulated it in a way that was brilliant. He explained it in a way that's helpful, and at the end of it, he explained the morality behind it and how you can use that in your life. So he's like connecting something you watched in your childhood and how you can understand what the moral of the story is, which I like those videos. But there are some things he says I don't really agree with.
Like you don't have to. The people think that when you agree with somebody on, and this is something I highlighted before. Yeah, when you agree with someone, one thing you have to agree with everything that person does.
That's not true. It's just not true.
Yeah, and I find this to be true with, and I said this before when it comes to politics. If you're left, if you're anti guns, you must be pro-life, you must be pro this, you must be like, because if you're not, you're going to be outed and you're going to be outcasted by that group. And so you feel peer pressured to then conform to everything they say. And then you just become a pawn. I don't like saying that because, it's like the term used by the woke people, but that's what happens. It's you can be here and there. I was going to say something though about Jordan Peterson. What I don't like about him is his, the way he not exposes. When I say expose, I don't mean like expose a negative. I'm like, I just talk about. I don't like the way he talks about, or the guests he brings when it comes to Islam or the Middle East. The way he talks about it, I don't like it. It's not representative. The people he brings on do not speak correctly or accurately about the religion and the people. And I think he shouldn't platform these people. Now, does that mean I feel like he should be banned or I think he's a crappy person? No. He can disagree about Islam. It doesn't change me and my relationship with the religion. He doesn't say anything that's outright like it will cause people to treat Muslims in a negative way. It's just a different view. Yeah.
See, that's the whole point of that, is that even if you have whatever view you have, the whole point is it should be challenged. Mm-hmm. How else will you learn more about your views? How else will you kind of have them concrete? Because that's how you have an open mind. So-called like people who say we should be open, we should be free, and then they're like, no, but you can't be like that. You can't be like this. How do you know? How you have to challenge your beliefs, whether it's someone else challenging it or not. And a lot of times our ego comes in between, and like people dismiss people like Jordan Peterson, or let's use someone else like who's like a very pure, jolly good.
I have no idea.
I don't know, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
And people dismiss him because maybe he just shows off a lot of that genuine positivity, and he's just out there. And it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine if you disagree, but I don't think you should completely dismiss and hate a person just because they do one particular thing, unless that particular thing is extremely harmful and to a very critical degree. It's just easier for them.
Yeah.
It's easier to dismiss because they don't have to do the research.
They feel intellectual when I notice this a lot when it comes to people in general. When you discuss a topic with a person, they think if they disagree, they'll sound more intellectual and more intelligent.
Yeah.
I notice this a lot. But when people think disagreement with something means you're smart.
Yeah, I've done that too. In the past.
It's like
I've definitely done
somebody
it.
tells you something. Let me think about it. Actually, I think that's incorrect. Or and they think when they do that, they're because I disagree with Jordan Peterson, because I'm not with the majority of people who are okay with him. That means I have ascended.
I'm enlightened.
I'm enlightened now.
It's not.
It's not the case. You just, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. I have another thing I want to talk about.
Damn. All right.
You want to keep going?
I wanted to just make one last point.
You forgot.
Shit.
Bloop. No, I have to cut it.
To cut it. God damn. How long have
39 minutes.
Yeah.
So far. Okay, we're good. We're on pace. Yeah. You forgot? Yeah. We'll come back to it if you remember.
We'll come back to it. Let's go.
Do you know? So you know BuzzFeed, right?
Cool.
An atrocity of a media company.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember when they used to have the Try Guys? That's the one. That's the one.
Try Guys.
That's the one type of videos I liked.
They were nice. I liked them. Yeah.
And then they separated themselves from BuzzFeed and they made their own channel, their own brand, and everything. Okay, with the same guys. And you're familiar with them, right? I think there's Eugene. There's a guy named Ned. And there's a taller guy with glasses, and there's a short guy with glasses. I forgot their names.
Is it Will or something?
I don't know. Anyway, so the Ned guy, the white,
short hairy guy, or
no, not that guy. I think he doesn't wear glasses. He's the only one who doesn't wear glasses from the three white guys.
Okay, yeah. Okay. And he's short and he's not like balding,
Yeah, it's not balding.
Yeah,
no.
okay.
Okay.
I know.
He's the one who's married. He has children. You good?
Yeah, gas is coming out.
So he's the one who's married and he has children. And I kind of like the guy. He seemed genuinely nice. He always spoke positively about his wife, and I think he contributed in a positive way. I can't talk today. Positive way to the group. And so there's some news. I think as of yesterday or 2 days ago, 28th.
There always is.
He cheated on his wife.
Okay. Damn.
What sucks the most about this is that he is the guy, his not entire identity, but a big part of his personality, his persona in the Try Guys is he loves his wife. So somebody made a video of every single time he mentions his wife in a supercut compilation. Oh. I love my wife. Yeah, my wife did this. My wife for like 2-3 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Just him talking about his wife. And then the last clip is him admitting to cheating.
Ooh, damn.
And I'm like, I feel so bad for the wife because they have kids now. And he posts. Messy. Yeah, he posts on his Instagram, because I checked this before we started talking about it. He always posts pictures of his wife and him. And I think to myself, don't you feel guilty while you're posting these pictures? Like, how? I don't understand. Like, you take these pictures, these cute pictures of your wife, and you're posting them. Don't you feel bad? Don't you feel guilty?
After he cheated?
This is before.
Okay.
No. He's been cheating for 2 years.
Oh, this wasn't a one-time thing.
Apparently,
is sucky.
Apparently, for 2 continuous years.
That is sucky. Wow.
And the person who he cheated with is an associate or assistant producer for the Try Guys.
Ooh. Damn, this is getting steamy. Are we BuzzFeed right now? Like, this feels like...
No, don't ever compare us to BuzzFeed.
No, we're not. I wanted to make I'll tell you later.
Sure. So, apparently she's the assistant producer for 2. He'd been cheating on his wife for 2 years with this girl, and the Try Guys Twitter posted that they're no longer having Ned on their
They're still going? Try Guys? I thought they
No, they're
disbanded.
big. No, they're big.
Oh, okay. I thought
So 2 days ago they posted like, we're not gonna have Ned in our videos anymore. He's gone. He's not part of us anymore.
Okay.
But they haven't
Deleted.
fired the girl. And I think the reason is power dynamic. Because he's one of the founders of the Try Guys, while she's just a worker. So I think they're worried that they'll get a lawsuit from the girl saying that she was coerced to have this relationship when actually it was consensual. And he said that outright. It was consensual.
Yeah.
Now, here's another part of the story. The girl was engaged to another guy.
Oh, man. What?
And so apparently that guy, when he found out, I think it was 2 days ago, the same time when the story broke, because I think there was a picture that leaked of him cheating, he deleted all the images that they have together, while she still has theirs up in her profile page. This whole thing is a mess.
I think they also they fired him because he's the main guy that's there. Nobody's going to think about
bad PR.
Yeah,
they're not going to keep him.
Exactly.
Like, I think he contribute. Like, the facts are, he contributed positively to the Try Guys in terms of the content and his presence. I'm separating the cheating thing.
Yeah,
just him as a part. He's a good addition to the group. Not addition, but he was always there. He was always a good part of the group. But the negative PR outweighs that.
Of course.
You're gonna get.
Yeah. If she brought some negative PR, they would have fired her for sure.
So this is what I'm saying. Both actions, the fact that they're firing him and the fact that they're not firing her, are both to avoid repercussions.
Yeah.
One is because they don't want bad PR with him, and two is they don't want a lawsuit from her.
Yep.
That's it. That's pretty much it.
So I think this is the same thing as the whole Johnny Depp thing. I don't know if, like, I just want to say it quickly. I know we already talked about Johnny Depp, but before Johnny Depp's case with Amber Heard blew up, there was another case that she brought against him, which wasn't so famous before, and I think in 2016
in England, or London, I think,
and everyone dropped him. They fired him from Disney. Fired him from what was it? Pirates of the Caribbean, and what was the other movie he was supposed to be in?
I don't know.
The Harry Potter thing. I don't know. Majestic Beast.
Fantastic Beast. Yeah, Fantastic Beast.
Fantastic Beast.
Yeah,
they dropped him. I think Dior was the only
one who kept him.
One who just kept him. They kind of stuck through. Thank you, Dior. By the way,
I still have Sauvage.
You have it,
and Elixir.
But that goes to show you they don't care. Like, they really don't
PR.
care. They don't. If it didn't bring them any bad PR, they would have kept him.
Yeah,
he brings a lot of money. I mean, come on.
Everything is PR.
And then now I think they fired Amber Heard, didn't they, from the new Aquaman movie?
I don't know.
I think so. I'm not sure.
I don't care anymore about Amber Heard. I don't,
but I heard it. I'm not so sure.
I'm glad to hear that. I think she tried to dispute the lawsuit, saying, she wants to get a retrial or something like that, but it's not going to happen because she has to put the bond of 10 million or something.
Oh man, she's got to.
She sold the house.
She just has to give up.
She sold the house. Like, finally a win.
Yeah. So the second thing I wanted to say was that this kind of shows you, like, even if someone looks like they're genuine, bubbly, happy, and they actually genuinely do happy things, they will make mistakes.
Yeah.
Some which have, very horrible repercussions, like, cheating.
Yes.
You have kids. It's not
especially
kids.
When you have kids.
The kids, I think, is the worst part about it. If you're just married to her, fine, you can just move on.
Yeah.
It hurts, but you can kind of move on.
Yeah. The other guy dodged a bullet, the fiance.
Yeah.
Yeah, he dodged a bullet because his girl is the one who cheated on him with the Try Guys dude.
How did he dodge the bullet? Oh yeah.
Because they didn't get
he was engaged with her. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
So he dodged a bullet.
That's good. I don't get it. Let's just admit it. If you did it, just admit it. Like, if you have kids, I understand it's like harder, but still, just admitting is the first, like, sane step to do. The best thing you could do about this whole thing.
Yeah. What other news are there? I think.
Adam Levine cheating on her. Did that actually happen?
I don't know.
Because
He
I
DM'd
don't
some
know.
model or something,
Yeah.
and he wanted to name their newborn after her.
After the girl he cheated on with. After the
Cheated
girl he
with.
cheated with.
Yeah.
Yeah. My English is not
No, it's
working
okay.
either.
Crazy. So many scandals, huh? These days.
It's coming out. Every single little thing. Maybe we should talk about something positive.
Like what?
There's nothing positive.
What's positive?
Honestly,
Today is
thought-
International Podcast Day,
nice.
September 30th.
Local-
I hope this gets released today. I'll see if I can. But what was that sound? Are you okay?
That's how I scratch my throat.
You scratch your throat?
I don't know how to explain it. Like
All right, that's so
pass
weird.
gas using. I don't know how to explain.
Stop.
I
wanna
can
know the
blow through
mechanism.
my gums and my throat, and it just itches that itch.
Scratches
And
that itch.
It scratches that itch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
There was one thing I wanted to talk about. I'm trying to recall. Movies. I've seen Top Gun. That's the only movie I've watched recently. What did you think of it? Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I have.
Everyone says it was amazing.
It was really good. I have a friend who watched it like I think 7 times in theater.
Come on, man.
theaters.
Jeez.
He's really into planes and jets and all that stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense.
I think this was the highest grossing movie for Tom Cruise, which is surprising. You would think it was one of the Mission Impossibles or something, but no.
They've gone above and beyond. Like he's crazy. This guy, man. He's in a good way. He's just
he does a lot of
insane.
stunts and.
I mean, other than the whole Scientology thing. But we gotta
I guess
talk about.
we forgot about that.
Yeah.
But other world news.
There was. Did you see they re-released? This is the first time I see something like. I don't know. Maybe
Avatar?
it has happened. No, I don't know if this happened in the past, but they re-released Spider-Man. Was it Far From Home? Is that the newest one?
I think they re-released it because of
They had extra scenes.
And the memes that were coming out of the movie. So they were like, let's just even Morbius. Morbius was re-released at certain theaters because of the Morbin time meme. Like,
Dude,
we're getting some.
I haven't watched it. I actually want to watch Morbius. Like I wanted to watch
it in theaters when it came out just for the memes.
Yeah, was it like something that's so bad is good?
It was so bad.
It's good.
Yeah, so bad it is
good.
good. To be honest, props to the CG team or the visual effects team. They did a good job.
Yeah,
yeah. I thought the visual effects were good, but the movie was really bad. Why is Jared Leto he's going to bad? Like, why is he joining bad movies? I don't know. He's a good actor.
Minions,
and a good singer
2 that came out.
I actually didn't hate it that much.
It was decent.
I didn't hate it.
I wanted there to be more. I felt like there should have been more memes. That's what I was like.
Yeah, the whole kids wearing the suits.
Yeah,
that was a big meme.
No, but like in the movie, I wanted memes in the movie because like they're reaching out to, the first Despicable Me, and then up until now, the kids have grown up.
Yeah,
they could have like memed it a little bit.
You know what? I think the reason why I didn't hate it as much because I love Steve Carell.
Yeah,
just because I love The Office so much, and he's my favorite character there. So, yeah,
he was amazing in The Big Short.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
Liked him. That he
was serious.
Yeah.
It's a movie about the 2008 financial crisis, right?
Yeah,
Big Short.
Yeah. I didn't. There's so many parts I couldn't understand much of.
It's a lot of financial jargon.
It's what?
Financial jargon, like very technical words for finance. Yeah. But it was good.
Yeah, the Batman came out too.
Oh yeah, Batman came out. I saw it. It was
my favorite Batman movie.
Really,
hands down.
I think it's the same for me.
Yeah. Just in terms of even Batman wise, like I like him a lot more than what's his name?
Christian Bale.
I've
heard that. They said Christian Bale is a better Batman, while Robert Pattinson is a better Bruce Wayne, or the opposite. Whatever it was.
I think I've heard that too, but I have to give it time because this is him like just getting into the Batman role, you know.
Yeah, I think,
And he's just in the movie. He's just starting out to be Batman.
Exactly.
So maybe he becomes more aggressive. I want to see his arc.
Yeah.
What happened? Maybe he becomes more aggressive. The fight scenes in that movie, I felt every punch.
Yeah, the sound effects, visual effects. You know what I love the most? What I love the most is that I think it's the beginning. Was it the beginning when he had the monologue talking about, these criminals? They get scared because they don't know what's in the dark. It's like it became like a horror movie. I was like, that was so well executed.
It was chilling, so man.
It was chilling. It was good. I felt like I was one of the bad guys and I was scared of Batman. I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah.
They did a really good job with the writing, with the visual effects, with the monologue, all that stuff. Hey, spot on. And what's his name? The Scottish guy who plays Penguin, the actor.
I forgot.
He did a really good job.
He's
too.
Amazing, man.
Amazing.
It's Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell. Amazing job.
Everything, man. The music. They kind of gave homage to the games.
I didn't play the games.
You should.
The Arkham Asylum,
games.
Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, right? Those three.
Yes.
I played the first one. I got
Arkham Origins too.
Origins,
in there, yeah.
Yeah. Did I say Arkham City? Is that a game as well?
Arkham Asylum, City, Origins, and then Night. You have to play them.
I played Asylum. I just got bored at one part, and I stopped playing because I bought the entire pack of the games. So I still have them. I can play them, but we'll see if I have time.
Dude, come on, man.
We'll see.
Asylum is slow. The mechanics aren't the best.
Yeah,
but after that, everything's good.
I'll see. What other news? We have God of War 2 coming out soon.
We went from movies to video games.
Yeah, we're trying to cover. I'm saying it's so much that happened. So many things to talk about.
Yeah, God of War 2.
Did you play one?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, amazing.
Really good.
I played the previous ones too.
Yeah, me too.
The original God of War.
I played 1, 2, 3, and Chains of Olympus. I didn't play the other PSP one. So there's one I didn't play, but I've seen gameplay and I know the story, so I'm caught up.
Yeah,
but pretty good. Okay. Any big news? Like, I want not politics. I don't want to go into politics. There's a lot of political stuff going on.
Personal life.
Yeah,
or
go ahead.
My friend's getting married, so
which friend?
Amar, if you're watching this,
which Amar?
Amar Mamdouh. He's the one in the States, North Carolina. North Carolina. So I'm gonna go visit him. Congratulations, by the way. I already congratulated him, but if he's watching this, congratulations.
How about you fly me out, Amar?
Yeah, Amar. Why don't you just fly my buddy out here?
Yeah,
we'll figure out something.
But that's not your news. What's happening with you?
But like, he's a close.
No. Shout out to him. But I'm like, what's up with you?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
There's nothing going on in my life.
Nothing. You've been hitting the gym.
That is probably. I was supposed to go to the gym, but I got lazy today.
It's okay. It's one of those days. New fragrances. What you said you got a new one.
We haven't talked about fragrances in the past podcast. The one we did talk about, we weren't recording. Something happened to the So we never really. We have to sit.
What new fragrance did you get? You said you sold the fragrance and bought a new one.
I sold one because I'm not using it. It's the Cedrop Bois. It's like a citrus woody. It's very manly.
It's really good. What's the one you got?
I got Tom Ford Noir Extreme.
What does it smell like?
Apparently it has a kulfi note.
A what?
You know what kulfi is?
No.
It's this Indian dessert. Okay. I don't know if it's exactly a kulfi note in there, but it smells like spicy, sweet. It kind of somewhat nutty, but it's nice. It's nice. I'm very much. We're both into fragrances. If you could see his collection right there,
I didn't put it in frame.
Yeah,
intentionally. I don't want people to judge me.
Yeah, maybe can they see this?
Maybe
here.
Maybe. But who got me into fragrances?
Who did?
You.
I'm pretty sure he's an amazing person. Me?
Oh,
damn. But yeah, it's funny. Like we've never talked. Have we talked about fragrances or in the past?
Maybe we mentioned it.
But
no, not in detail.
But it's funny, man. I feel I know my connection to why I love fragrances. Firstly, it is. I mean, call it whatever. Call it like it's stupid if I say this, but I think it's kind of like an art.
Yeah.
To be able to see out different notes. I want to go so far into it where I buy essential oils and
I was about to ask, do you have aspirations of picking up perfumery as a hobby?
Maybe.
As in like developing your own fragrances?
Actually, maybe. It's a hard thing to do. It actually, that's why a lot of people can't clone. If it was easy, it would have cloned these big like
Yeah.
fragrances.
But
Some of
also,
them do.
you
Some of them do
also
clone them well.
you also need expensive ingredients.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
raw
So
materials.
these big companies, yeah, the bottle is like initially, to make a fragrance bottle, it'll cost you like all of it, everything, packaging, $5 to $10,
less.
maybe less. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I'm being generous.
But then you have the research and development and hiring the perfumer,
the
and all that.
marketing, the ads,
Marketing,
the distribution,
yeah.
all of that, and the biggest thing, and this is what like small perfumers struggle with, is that they can buy loads of ingredients,
in
expensive
bulk.
in bulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, while smaller perfumers, they have to put it they have to mark it up at a higher price.
Yeah.
Because it's harder to get it. They can't buy it in bulk.
That's true. For me, fragrances, first, I didn't get it. Like, I didn't get deal with fragrances. Like, I just want to smell good. And if one of the fragrances smell good, then khalas, wear that one.
Yeah.
But then somebody explained to me, I don't know if it was you, or a YouTube video, but just like how you have different outfits for different occasions, for different seasons, for different types of people. Same thing with fragrances. It's like an extension or a completion to your outfit or just you, So, and just like you have winter clothes and you have summer clothes, you have winter fragrances, you have summer fragrances, you have, and you have fragrances for all occasions. You have fragrances for specific occasions. If you're going out on a date, if you're going out to the office, if you're just going out for general chores, it's all the furs. And at first I thought it was pretentious, but then when I smell them, I'm like, you know what? I see it. Could be placebo, but to be honest, no, I see it.
It's nice. It's nice, and obviously, like, getting compliments is nice. Getting into this hobby, like, seeing how it develops on your skin. All of this kind of is a fun thing to do. For me, it was what started out was, I mean, obviously our culture. We have a lot of fragrances here and there. We have like that random small jar of oud oil. Everyone has this at their homes.
Yeah.
And what started it out for me was my mom, actually. She'd always want me to smell good. She's like, hey, take a shower, don't stink, people. Maybe it's like a little thing in my brain. It's like, I can't stink. But she also was very much into fragrances. I'd smell these different things. And even to this day, like some fragrances, they unlock this memory. I think that's why a lot of people get fragrance. They unlock this memory and you feel good.
Yeah, no,
automatically.
that is a fact. Like, I don't think it's even a phenomenon that people would disagree with. There are certain scents that would trigger past memories.
Yeah,
I've had some that happened to me, and I think they're worth it. Sometimes you have some people or some companies like Creed who just mark up their prices so much, and it's for weak fragrances.
Disgusting.
Anyway, I was gonna talk about a story real quick, or something
I was going
that happened.
to too.
All right, go ahead then. I'll give you.
What's your story? Is it about fragrances?
No.
Or? Okay, then I'll say mine.
Go.
It's just a short one. Like, I recently talked to a friend, and I was just showing him my fragrances and all that. I sprayed it on like some tissues. I did not expect this from him. And he just started smelling it. He was like, he got a little emotional after smelling. I thought he was just like joking. He's like making fun. Like, yeah, your fragrances, they unlock memories. Yeah, sure. But no, he actually he got emotional. He's like, this actually reminds me when my mom would like play. She would play this guy who was reading the Quran like on the radio, or I don't know what
recitation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she would get ready and she would spray that and take him to school. And that's every single day. He instantly remembers that.
That's cute.
Like, it's nice. It's nice to see someone, kind of like go through that, and because I went through it. I thought maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm
no. I think this is a universal experience, but most people don't experience it because they don't get into fragrances. But once you like find that scent and they smell like, oh my gosh, this smells like that. It smells like this.
You think it's like a biological thing?
Yeah,
like,
I think it's biological.
There's certain scents we use to gravitate towards foods or our family members.
I mean, obviously, scent. The biological reason for having scent is to distinguish between like poison and things that smell foul or things you want to stay away from.
Yeah.
I think there's also, when you're a kid, you're at the very early stages of your life, you don't have many experiences or many memories. So when you discover certain scents that your nose has never smelled before, it creates a core memory in your head. And especially if you keep smelling that scent, it becomes the only scent you always, because when you're a kid, you don't smell like 50 different fragrances. You don't go to a fragrance shop. You just smell what your parents spray, and your parents usually would use one or two of the same scents.
Mm-hmm.
So once you grow up and you smell that scent, boom, you remember it.
Exactly.
Anyway, I was gonna talk about haters. I know it's such a.
Whoa.
I understand. It's such a weird
Haters.
Diversion, but a lot of people talk about haters, and they talk about, especially people in Bahrain and just in general, the common person. They act like they have 100 haters in their life. It's so annoying. I proved my haters wrong. I did this, and nobody doubted that person.
This is like one bully
one
from high school.
Yeah, it's like, I proved my teacher wrong. They said I would never amount to anything, etc. I actually had that once before, but it was just, I know it's cliche, but anyway. But I also believe there are haters,
of course.
And I want to give an experience I've gotten recently from a hater.
Oh, was it me?
No.
Okay.
So usually when people, and especially in Bahrain, if you're like an artist, you support other artists. Usually, even if that support is constructive criticism, or if it's just doing shouting them out or doing collaborations. That's what I did with my podcast. I invited a lot of podcast hosts when I was new, and a year ago, and I invited two. I've actually invited more, but the others didn't show up. I wanted to support other podcasts because I'm also doing it. I know how hard it is. I want to have a conversation. Mm-hmm. So usually that's the case, but I had a hater recently who is also a podcast host in Bahrain. I'm not gonna call him out. I'm not gonna call it the name. Beef. I'm not gonna call it the name, but it was so unsuspecting. I'm like, is this guy actually serious? The comments he's leaving. So what happened was, one of my friends who is a podcast host, there's actually two that I've had here. Either went to his podcast or had him as a guest on their podcast. I was like, I know this podcast guy, because he follows me on LinkedIn. He connected with me on LinkedIn a while back. And, under his name, it's a podcast host, whatever, Jim Rat, something like that. Okay.
Is that an example or the podcast name?
No, that's actually the name. I don't know. I don't want to call the name I think I know the name, but I'm saying just his title is like podcast host, and he's also a gym rat and something like that. Like, I'm a gym rat, I'm also a podcast host, something like that. I don't remember exactly what
okay,
it was.
Yeah.
So I see him being featured on their stories on their Instagram, and like, oh, I didn't know that this guy existed. I remember him connecting with me. I didn't think he was in Bahrain. So I go to his podcast page, and I see like 0 comments or something like that. Nobody comments on his page, and I felt kind of bad. So I'm like, I want to support, like I said, podcasters in Bahrain. So I left a comment just interacting with one of the videos he left. And then he responded. It was positive, okay? And this is with my personal account, not with my podcast account. I commented. And then I have my podcast link on my personal Instagram's bio, okay? Just to keep that in mind. Then I see him going to my podcast page and leaving negative comments on my highlights.
Damn.
So the first one was, I think it was with Dunning-Kruger effect. And I think maybe I misrepresented the effect, the explanation. I think I got it right, 100%, not 100%, but I got the gist of it right. But maybe I wasn't technical with exactly what it is, that kind of bias, that it's a cognitive bias, etc. So he's like, no. This is not what Dunning-Kruger effect is. What it is, and then he proceeds to copy and paste a little, because I looked it up. the Wikipedia definition of Dunning-Kruger as if he's the one who said it.
God.
All right. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I see your point, and I did tackle that point in the beginning of the clip, but I also talk about the other aspect of Dunning-Kruger effect. And he's like, no, you're completely wrong. That's not what it is. You're describing something else.
He said this in the comments, not
section,
even on private message.
Okay. So then,
buddy, we got a problem? Huh?
No, hear me out. Okay. And then he goes to another highlight. This is the highlight where I talk about motion sickness. And in the clip, I say, I don't know if this is right, but I believe we get motion sickness because our brain is trying to have us vomit out poison. All right.
Yeah.
And then after that, so that's during the podcast, I say that. And then I take that clip and I write in the why we get motion sickness. Okay. And then I put in the captions, #fact. Like, this is a fact. Like, did you know, or fact. And the reason I put fact, because before I posted that highlight, I looked it up and it was right. What I said during the podcast. Because in the podcast, as I said, I don't know if this is right, but it's what I've heard and I hope it is right. And then I look it up and it is right. That's why after I fact check myself, I put #fact. So what he goes and he, you know what he writes in the comments? He writes, says, I don't know if this is right, but then puts #fact in the caption. And then he puts like laughing faces. And I'm like,
yo,
okay.
Man, what's up? What's going on? Like,
and then I'm like, okay. I just straight up DM him. I'm like, dude, first of all, I didn't notice that fact comment yet. I'm still on the Dunning-Kruger one. I'm like, yo, I don't feel like debating you on the comment section. All right. Here's why I said the definition of Dunning-Kruger, and it's correct. And I showed him like images of what I said, like on Google search, like here. All right. And then while I'm talking to him, I noticed the other comment. I'm like, he said, doesn't know. Says it doesn't know if this is a fact, and then puts #fact and then laughing emojis, and that's what he puts. And I was like, yo, I just snap. I'm like, bro, do we have a problem? Like, what is it? Tell me. Are you jealous of me? Are you jealous that I have a podcast? What is it jealousy? Is it a competition? Is it because I'm competition? What is it? Right? Because I went to your page. I didn't say that, but I went to his page to leave something positive on his page, and I left a positive message. And then this guy goes to my personal account. Oh, this guy commented on my page. Let me check out who's this guy? Who this guy is? Oh, his bio. There's Picking Brains. He clicks on it. Oh, he has a podcast. Oh my gosh. And then
he has his own podcast.
He has his own podcast.
Okay.
Right. And then some of the people I hosted went on his podcast and they're shouting him out. And I'm like, why are you guys shouting out this a-hole? Anyway. And then he replies. So, and he replies to me, like, I said, what is it? Is it jealousy? Is it because I'm competition? And then he says, he puts like a GIF or a GIF, however you want to pronounce it, of somebody being butthurt or something like that. And it's like, why are you so butthurt? You got to chill. I'm just correcting you. It's okay to be wrong or something like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. Like I said something like, I feel like you're so bored or you, like, go get a job or something. I say something like that because like you hating on other podcasters, like, what the heck is your problem? Why are you trying to bring me down on something? I'm just trying to do it for fun. Right? Is nobody listening to your podcast? Is that why you have that much time? You're going on LinkedIn, sharing or connecting with people, begging them to watch your podcast. I've personally known people that have been invited by this person that didn't want to go on the podcast because they didn't like the guy. So something's a
little fishy.
So
about this man.
And he's like, we're fully booked until October. We're fully booked, as if he's not the one begging people to come on his podcast.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just block him. Out of sight, out of mind.
That's good. That's good.
But that was the first. I just want to share this story because that was the first encounter of like actual hate I've gotten on this podcast.
Yeah.
I've had people doubt, saying like, maybe podcasts, I'm not doing this as a job, by the way. This is just a hobby. Anyway, it's the first encounter I've had with the actual hater. And the sad part is it's another person who has a podcast in Bahrain. Yeah. That's the sad part. I could not believe it. So that guy sucks. You suck. You know who you are. If you're watching this, you know who you are. I mean, I blocked you, but if you're still gonna find out, you suck. I don't care that I'm calling them out, even though not by name, but on the podcast, and
They know who they are.
they know who they are, and yeah, I hate that other people are giving you a platform when they. I hope that they don't know that you're an a-hole. That's why they're giving you a platform. Well, yeah,
People like this will come and go. I think you tackled it in a rational way. Like
Yeah.
you didn't feed that hatred, which
Yeah.
a lot of people tend to do. I mean, it happens to all of us. We kind of see someone who's hating on us, and I'm not saying I have haters, but there were people like, I guess, bullies in a way. They're synonymous.
yeah,
Where you kind of feed it. People
Yeah.
will kind of poke fun at you, but then by responding to it, you kind of feed it. But I guess that first knowing whether they're being serious, genuine, what's their problem, and then if they continue it, just ignore them. Don't give them what they want.
Man. I gave this guy 5 minutes of my time, and that's it. And once I knew what kind of person he
Unnecessary.
was, bye.
Gym rat. What else?
He does not look like a gym rat. Let me just say that. I don't want to
He
crap on
looks like
people.
a rat. Oh, sorry.
I don't want to crap on people's fitness journeys. I don't do that, but he doesn't. You don't look like a gym rat, bro.
Yeah.
You look like a couch potato. Anyway, so what was I gonna say? Sorry, I'm just I'm still a little irritated on that because
That's fine.
I went out of my way to leave a positive comment on your podcast and in your
Yeah.
page, and that's what I get in return.
Do you think you're gonna get anything on this episode?
I mean, he's blocked,
Right.
but if he wants to see it, I don't care. We can start. We can start some podcast. We can start some podcast beef.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
The
I'm not
first
gonna
one
do
in Bahrain.
I'm not gonna bring people down. I'm not gonna go.
Yeah.
You have your own platform. I have mine. Let me see.
We good?
Hour 15. I think this is a good time to end.
Yeah. Let's
Nice.
wrap up.
Oh, another announcement. I'm gonna make it at the end. Ahmed Salmi is basically a co-host of Picking Brains now.
What?
Yeah. So
Damn.
I plan on having 3 people at a time. So me, him, or him and I, and then a guest. So 3 microphones.
Not. Oh, okay.
I'll
How is
plan
it gonna
for-
be? Like,
I'll
am I gonna
see.
sit by, like, right next to you?
We'll see. Maybe one of us will
Like
be
on
out of
that
frame.
Armchair.
So you have your own microphone just in the closet, and then
like, what am I, Jamie from Joe Rogan?
no, you're, yeah, basically. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Pull
Harry
that
Potter.
up, Jamie.
Yeah, put it up, Jamie. Put it up, Sami.
Yeah.
Ahmed Sami. Sorry.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
He doesn't like me calling him Sami.
Nice. I'm fine with it, but I will
Okay.
correct you.
On
I will
record, he's
correct
fine with it. So
I'm fine with it, but I will correct you. Like,
so you're not fine with it.
like, I'm not gonna get butthurt. Like, oh, well, you called me Sami.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No worries.
Screw you. I'm not gonna do that.
All right, this was delightful. I what's gonna be a pain is just getting back into the workflow of making a podcast.
Now I handle it. I handle everything from now on.
No,
So
you
yes,
won't be able to.
Yes,
You barely know how to operate a camera.
your views will skyrocket.
Yeah.
To
The
more
editing
views.
is going to take a while. I'm not looking forward to doing this. That's the worst part of doing the podcast.
Yeah,
I wish I can just, and then somebody else does all the work.
you could.
I have to pay someone. But anyway, Jamie. All right.
Your future Jamie.
First of all, thanks for coming. And thank you guys for, if you made it this far, wow, I applaud you.
Yeah, it's a long
If
one.
if you didn't sleep already.
Yeah.
I love this 1 year that we had with the podcast, and I'm looking forward to more. I won't be here on the actual anniversary. I might do a post or something, but I hopefully, if I don't have any, I was going to talk about some issues I had with Japan getting a visa, whatever. But that's for another day. But yeah. Thank you guys for listening, and see you in the next one.
Yeah, but I just wanted to say I appreciate you like having me too. I know
course.
you wanted to send it.
No,
off.
you're good. You're good. You're good.
I appreciate you for having me here. I feel like I don't have much to offer. I'm just blabbing,
No,
saying
man.
whatever I
People
get
love
on
you the
my mouth.
most. People want you.
I'm blushing right now.
Our most listened to episode is one with you.
Was it the Will Smith one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
second highest is
Damn.
Rista. So you beat
Alright.
Rista. Rista,
You got
You got
competition.
competition, Rista. I gotta have you back on here, man.
You want? Should we start a beef?
No.
Rista? I'll do it.
Rap beef?
A rap beef? I'll do it, man.
No, but anyway, thank you guys for listening, and
Thanks a lot.
peace out.